Yo, what is up guys? It is Skaarm, and for today's video I'm going to be showing you the top 25 evolutions for the new Evolutions Sharpshooter. Let's go into it in the Evolutions tab here, and it's going to be under the Centurions Sharpshooter section, in which all the requirements are on the right side. This is for left wingers only, so the player does have to have an alternate position or a main position of a left winger. They get +5 pace, +5 physicality, +7 shooting, +8 passing, along with +8 dribbling, high attacking work rate, a finesse shot, play style not a plus, but we also do get another +8 shooting, a +1 weak foot, Trivella playstyle, along with a low defensive work rate. So overall, this is going to make cards absolutely insane. You could already see one of the picks on the right side. That is going to be Mavdidi. The card's phenomenal, but in terms of the cards I have, let's move into them. Alright, so obviously the best aspect of this evolution is it's free, so we have a large selection here that we can go through. We're going to start off with Claude Maurice here. I mean, the card looks great all around the board. Obviously, defending on the lower end because this is for left wingers, but this guy can play center mid. So an option nonetheless. I do think he is a phenomenal one. And we've had a previous promo card from him in previous FIFAs, and he's been absolutely insane there. So definitely an option. Next one here is going to be Fernandez. Now, this option obviously is not going to be for starters. He's only as a super sub. I mean, his agility and balance are phenomenal. He already has the 5-star weak foot, so it doesn't really affect that. But his stats can be basically maxed out in the dribbling aspect. So definitely a solid super sub option there. Then we have Portales. Once again, kind of hard to link, depends on how you can link Spanish players into your team, but she becomes very, very good. Her agility is going to be maxed out, and she's going to have a phenomenal card overall. Now, Radonjic is probably one of my favorite Serie A options on the entire list, and I mean, his stats say everything that they need to, especially considering he's going to have the max pace from this evolution, as he does start off with 88. Kwame is solid, but honestly, when you have Radonjic as an option, I just would skip out on Kwame. Servi, on the other hand, is phenomenal, and he brings Argentine links, La Liga links, and just incredible stats overall. But one of my favorite picks on the entire list is going to be Bamba. I mean, they play from the same club for Servi and Bamba, but Bamba also brings you incredible stats. I mean, just look at those. Samuel Lino is solid option, but overall, not my favorite. Rodri, on the other hand, obviously his pace is on the lower end. It just doesn't hit the 80, which kind of hurts. But in terms of this card playing cam, I mean, just look at those stats. Shooting, dribbling, passing is alright as well. Very, very good option on the list. Now, Zerari, on the other hand, he had an evolution option from the, I believe, Trailblazer Striker, which was, I believe, like 75,000 coins, and this card might be better, arguably better, depends really how you want to look at it, but he's definitely a great option, and of course he's from Burnley and from the Premier League. Emmanuel Dennis was also on that Trailblazer Striker section. I had him on that list there, and he kind of has two options because he has a Nottingham Forest card, which is pretty much extinct, but he also has a Turkish League card, which is pretty easily attainable. Now, if you guys get his Nottingham card, it's going to be insane. His dribbling's phenomenal. Looking right here with this 87 to start off with, 78 balance as well. Great stats all around the board, and he's just going to look insane with that upgrade. But of course, if you can't snipe his Nottingham Forest card, I probably wouldn't recommend it, and I'd probably skip out. Origi was also on the Trailblazer Striker section, and I recommended it to stay away from the card, and once again, I recommend to stay away from this card. He's pretty much at the low tier of the top 25 in my opinion. Now, some options here in the starting 11 are very, very good. Starting it off with Cornet, I mean, wow. Wow, bro, wow. 90 pace and 90 shooting. What more do you need? I guess you could say the skill moves would have made this card even better, which is absolutely true. But regardless, his face stats are just incredible. Now, Wang Hee-chan, this is a very, very interesting card to be picking from this evolution, and that is because Player of the Month Sun owners, you finally have yourself a link. He's from the Premier League, he's from South Korea, and he's from Wolves, so that's going to get you some solid links. Hey, if you can't afford Player of the Month Sun, maybe you guys want to actually pick him instead as an option. With the 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, and he's explosive. Obviously, he doesn't have playstyles until he does get the boost from the evolutions, but he's going to have maxed out agility and just incredible stats overall. So definitely one to look at. Pedro Neto, once again, is also another option. If only we could do 2 evolutions of the same type, that would have been insane to get a Pedro Neto and Hwang Hee-chan a link, but unfortunately you can't do that. Regardless though, Neto is probably one of the top 3 options in terms of statistical options, and he's just insane. His agility balance basically going to go maxed out, his pace is going to look incredible, his shooting is going to look very, very good as well, and with those upgrades, definitely one to think about. Also, don't forget he can play striker, and he can play on both wings, so definitely very versatile for your Premier League squads. Moses Simon, I believe he just got a Centurions card today, and funnily enough, his Evolution Centurion card is going to look better than his actual Centurion card. So an option on the board. Would I recommend this one? Probably not. Riquelme is a very good option as he cam. I wouldn't really play this guy on the wing just because pace is not the best, but still an insane option from the La Liga, and especially as a cam. Ava Navarro, this is probably a top 3 option as well, man. She already has a 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. She's an explosive player, solid little playstyles already. And of course, the only thing I could honestly say really bad about this card is going to be her reactions after the upgrade, and of course acceleration after the upgrade. However, one thing to look at this card, she's going to have the highest finishing on this entire game. A 75 rated card currently will have the highest finishing on the entire game. That is going to be 99 finishing. So just you have to consider this as an option, regardless if she starts and regardless if she doesn't. 99 finishing at this stage in the game with those stats on the card already, an option that you have to consider. Now we have Gibbs White. I mean, he looks like a pretty solid option. I would probably consider playing this guy at the center mid or cam positions. I wouldn't really put this guy on the wing, but he does have some good stats. The only real issue I'm going to have with this card is, of course, if you guys play him center mid, he's going to lose that high defensive work rate, so I probably wouldn't do that, and I'd consider him only at the cam position. But of course, he also only has a 2-star weak foot, turning that into a 3-star weak foot. Agility is basically going to be maxed out though, so that's pretty interesting. And of course, there's not many English center mids and cams in the game. Really, all you can go for is like someone like Madison, Ward-Prowse, and of course an option like Gordon, who's next on the list. He has great stats. He's going to have that 5-star. He's going to have the 4-star weak foot. Unfortunately, I believe he used to have a 5-star weak foot as his future stars card in previous games. And now his stats aren't going to be the best, but he's an option nonetheless, especially if you need an English player in your team. Actor Koglu is a great option, however, obviously not in the top 5 leagues, so an option I'm going to go skip by, but his stats are still incredible. Traxler is technically not playing at PSG right now. I believe he plays in Qatar. But however, he still has a PSG card, and the card isn't extinct, so he is an option. And if you guys have played with the Draxler card in previous FIFAs, I've played with him like 2-3 FIFAs in a row, and the card's just always so good. There's something about his body type that makes him incredible. However, the only issue with this card and why I'd already skip out on it is probably going to be the fact that he's going to have the low defensive work rate, and in my opinion, he plays best as a center mid. At least that was the case scenario for previous FIFAs, and especially with his low pace, he's not going to play the best at cam either. Now, the final option is going to be for the GGMU fans here, and that obviously is going to be your Wonder Boy and Alejandro Garnacho. Agility and balance going to be maxed out basically, and he is a phenomenal card with a 5-star weak foot after the upgrade. Definitely one option that you should be considering, regardless if you're a Man United fan or not. He does have incredible stats. Now, to round off the top 25, it's going to be Misidjan from the Saudi League. He's from Netherlands as well. He has solid stats, so if you need a Saudi League player, he is an option on the list. We also have Kambiagi. He's also a solid option from the Serie A, but of course, I just don't really consider him the best option, and he's definitely at the lower end of the top 25 list. Now, looking into my actual top 10 for the entire list, I've already went through these players, but these are probably my favorite picks in the entire list, and that's going to be everyone in the starting 11 outside of Dennis, and that's mainly just because it's basically impossible getting his Nottingham Forest card. Yes, technically it's possible, but it's just so hard, especially after all these evolutions coming out, and for that reason, he's going to remain out of my top 10 list. But Hwang Hee-chan with that Sun link, Pedro Neto with those stats, Bambo the links and the stats. Fernandez, definitely my favorite super sub option, so if you're only considering doing these cards to link into your squad, I wouldn't consider Fernandez an option. However, his stats are incredible, and I really do believe in this card being one of the best in the game. Navarro, technically also a super sub option, but could be a starter as well, as she does have Spanish and Atletico links. And of course, she has the 99 finishing, so definitely in the top 10 list. Gibbs White, a solid option. He's definitely in this list just due to the lack of English cams in the actual Premier League. We also have, of course, Cornet. I feel like he could be a fraud, so just bear that in mind. Alright, so I just wanted to re-record this part, but Riquelme is definitely the better option between him and Rodri, and I definitely recommend this card. I mean, his stats are incredible, his shooting's going to be out of this world, and definitely one of the top 10 options on this list. But then, of course, Garnacho looks like a great winger from the Premier League. And, of course, my favorite Serie A option is going to be Rajonjic. And that, guys, is these top 10. Apart from that, let me know in the comments down below if I've missed anyone. And let me know if you guys are going to be completing any of these and which one you guys are going to be doing in specific. Apart from that, though, that is going to be the video. So please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Peace out.
Yeah, I won't start. I ain't tripping. I won't start. Living lively. Everybody tryna ride my wave, they can ride me. Pull up in a foreign to the curb looking icy. I ain't never stressed about a fit, I'm on hype beast.